to the Do It All Dad Your podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me, controlling our kids through comedy, can make our kids great again. And this is episode 43, Grandparent Bad Manners. And I'm your host, Michael Kornbluth, for those not familiar with my lovely voice already. I love Earl Grey tea. Graying mountains of muff still warm my heart. Do It All Dad granola tip. Use a mallet to pound the granola under a paper towel so your kids don't gag on clusters of oats. My gut tells me Stormy Daniels skips this part altogether. Grandparent Bad Manners. Grandpa making his granddaughter reek of stale, shitty, discontinued Arabic cigarettes, ruining her April fresh smell only 2 days after being yanked out of Mama into God's green earth. Can I get an amen? I said amen. Grandparent Bad Manners. Grandma blaming the broken AC in her car for not visiting her 2 grandchildren all summer, knowing her husband wouldn't mind if she sweat off a couple of tons from the waist down in the process. Grandparent Bad Manners. Not having backup dog muzzles on your person. The 1 week, every summer, your 2 grandchildren stay over. 2-for-1 deals at ShopRite for Morningstar veggie bacon doesn't mask how much this cheap oversight bites. Grandparent Bad Manners. Pushing your son to get a job as a garbage man to support his family because grandma views all Trump supporters as trashy, deplorable pieces of shit in the first place. Can I get a holla for some holla? Grandparent Bad Manners. Showing up to the delivery room empty-handed, only to bust out the nice Irish whiskey after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, despite living in Delaware and hailing from Manchester, England, originally. Grandparent Bad Manners. Grandma insisting your kids only release shrieks of joy in the designated cramped playroom for the dog to chew in their feet after chewing through its fucking nuzzle again. Grandparent Bad Manners. Offering X money for a down deposit, only to offer half after an offer was extended because the glamorous Victorian in northern Westchester with 2 acres of land dwarfed their Arizona compound shrine to themselves. Grandparent Bad Manners. English-born grandpa complaining about brain overload from the probing, rapid-fire questioning from his New York granddaughter, knowing he's an uppity, well-paid SAP consultant. Grandparent Bad Manners. Grandpa hunting down his 39-year-old father of 2 at the local Irish bar, that being his son, after the 2 grandchildren were already asleep, to announce Grandma and Grandpa are pooped out and done for the night. Grandparent Bad Manners. Adopting a rescue dog without consulting their 3 grandchildren first, knowing they'll no longer be the center of attention whenever they're around with that stupid, hairless runt of a dog again. Grandparent Bad Manners. Allowing their snotty Gentile friend accuse their son-in-law of not being Jewish at their house over Christmas, despite him being the only one blessed with a funny Jew bone in attendance, obviously. Can I get a holla for some more holla? Grandparent Bad Manners. Grandma telling your wife to change the baby's nappy when she's there under the pretext of helping out your wife suffering from postpartum depression. Grandma isn't a Trump supporter either. Isn't Trump either. I messed that up. Grandparent Bad Manners. Feeding your newborn sugar water, thinking your enlightened East Coast elitist edge is still intact after retiring to Scottsdale, Arizona. Grandparent Bad Manners. Grandma only getting her grandchildren raising son-in-law black gym socks for Christmas, which would be considered a cool gift before Chris Webber's brain fart ruined everything. Grandparent Bad Manners. Grandma and Grandpa not calling their grandchildren-bearing son on his birthday from Israel because they must have been hiding out in death tunnels with no cell phone service. The end. Do It All Dad tip. If you want to scare the shit out of your kids doing drugs, read them the poem Howl by Allen Ginsberg out loud. The poem. My daughter is 10 and 3 years. 10 and 3 years. Here we go. My daughter is 10 and 3 years. Stop growing so fast, Matilda. I can't handle the tears. Dad can't pick you up after kung fu class anymore without you getting embarrassed all of a sudden on the square in age of Aquarius. Kevin Hart should play Kofi Annan in a movie about the UN directed by Oliver Stone. He'll win an Oscar. And Eddie Murphy will be delirious with enough raw rage to do stand-up again with informed trans material to mine. Hey now. It's another poem. It's been a very productive week, folks. Smiles in the window. I come home to smiles in the window. You'd think I paid off my 3 kids to do so with hundos. Those greeting smiles by the window turn my heart into putty. Like when my daughter says, I was fuss-free today, can I get a goodie? I hate picking up crumpled up Uno cards more than trying to pick up the pieces of my brain, trying to remember how to play it again. I'm so kids games challenge, and it sucks to know it. Me at the wine shop. It's the wine shop owner. No babysitter today? This is me. You sell mini baby bottles of booze to leaving Las Vegas alcoholics. It's me at the deli worker. Babysitting today? This is me. Yeah, my weekly allowance isn't enough to support my cell phone bill. I've been downloading she-mail porn like crazy. This is called the Edgy Unemployment. Let me repeat that. This piece is called Edgy Unemployed Comedian / Father of 3. At the barber shop. This is the barber. Babysitting today? And this is the unemployed comedian / father of 3 going on a true rant for the ages. With jobless claims at a 45-year low, I'm securing the title of America's least desirable worker. Babysitting today? Yeah. So many dudes cut biology class to get their beard trimmed with 3 kids in tow. Babysitting today? No, I'm just playing Mr. Mom for a remake because they couldn't afford Michael Keaton. Barber again. No babysitter today? She refused to cut Princeton Review prep time after school, if you could believe it. Just a beard trim. I couldn't grow one in high school, you know. Barber. No babysitter today? Me again. Babysitters worked 4-hour nights last time I checked. Barber. No babysitter today? Me again. How do you know my 3 kids have virtual grandparents? Abdullah the Butcher. No babysitter today? And we're done repeating ourselves. So this is some Yom Kippur humor. I come back from temple and say, hey babe, how is the house messy already? And my wife says, I was busy entertaining the kids. So I smell my son's nappy and say, Samuel hasn't peed his pants yet. Get back to more joke slinging, comedian. More Yom Kippur humor. I come back from the temple. I say, babe, how is this house messy already? She says, I was busy entertaining the kids. And my reply, are the kids spent on the couch from being on their feet too long for your extending standing ovation? Can I get a holla for some holla? My wife's been lovely this week, for the record. More Yom Kippur humor. I come back from temple. Babe, how is house messy already? She says, I was busy entertaining the kids. And my reply, I don't think you were creating a Psytrance festival juggling fire on Make-Believe E. If so, where are your fairy wings then? My wife again. I was busy entertaining the kids. My reply, were you hosting a pretend rave? Did Matilda wear your fairy wings looking like an overdose at the limelight waiting to happen? I come back from temple. Babe, how is this house messy already? I was busy entertaining the kids. My reply, I'm sure your lecture on unequal work pay for women in the workplace had my 2 sons hanging on your every word for dear life. Some more Yom Kippur humor. I come back from temple. Babe, how is this house messy already? I was busy entertaining the kids. Are they following you on Instagram now? This is my Gentile wife nudging me to break my fast before sundown. I leave work at 6. I leave for work at 6. This is my wife. I leave for work at 6. Let's eat earlier together as a family. The sun never sets in Alaska all summer. I say, wrong season, but it's also easy to fast on crystal meth. Deviant dad diss retaliation at my mama. No reply to the pic of your 2 grandchildren in the F-16 on Yom Kippur? Michael Savage is correct. Hate is in the air. when you can't even forget Trump for a sec and showcase some patriotic love to spare. Deviant dad diss retaliation at my mama. No reply to the pic of your 2 grandchildren in an F-16 on Yom Kippur. Don't get me wrong, I'm not starved for your condescending attention, but my children don't know any better yet. Can I get a holla for some holla? Deviant dad diss retaliation at my mama. No reply to the pic of your 2 grandchildren in an F-16 on Yom Kippur. Still fuming over the fact I implied you were a low-energy Jeb Bush compared to Sly Stallone, still doing action films into his early 70s. Deviant dad diss retaliation at my mama. No reply to the pic of your 2 grandchildren in an F-16 on Yom Kippur, just when I thought you couldn't have sunk lower than suggesting I dump baby Samuel off at a daycare to become a garbage man for a living. Deviant dad diss retaliation at my mama. No reply to the pic of your 2 grandchildren in an F-16 on Yom Kippur because you hate being known as an ordinary brained, lesser Jamie Dimon for thinking you were more enlightened than Trump in the first place. Deviant dad diss retaliation at my mama. No reply to the pic of your 2 grandchildren in an F-16 on Yom Kippur because you're the class act who booked the next flight to Kentucky after your sister tried to off herself. Not. God, please don't kill me for that. I just don't understand why my mom didn't book the flight, regardless of my dad's influence and him saying that she would have been sucked in this like black hole of like crazy hick derangement. It's still not an acceptable excuse. I'm sorry. And I love my Aunt Gail. And she's been more about my writing than my own mother, so and been more genuine about it. So sorry. Not trying to be a serial dickhead over here. But deviant dad diss retaliation at my mama. No reply to the pic of your 2 grandchildren in F-16 at Yom Kippur. No wonder your anti-Trump moving spiel bombed in Israel. Explaining why you never uttered a peep about your trip there with dad. The end. So, I am going to go completely overkill on the Yom Kippur material. Just got my Ancestry.com results back. And as I'm sure you guys have picked up on already, that 54% is Ashkenazi, Eastern European, Jewish, Polish, Russian. I do have a smidgen of Israeli in me, which would explain me being blessed with the glorious funny Jew bone. And my other half is English, Welsh. I'm a Welshian. Don't really know what that means. Can't say. And I had Germanic in me, which explains my fondness for Yiddish, my sprinkling of Yiddish. I love this old routine I used to do with my daughter when she could only like string 2 words together. We go to the deli and I'd say, "Hey Matilda, what did Tyson Chandler give the Knicks?" And she'd say, "Bupkis, Daddy, Bupkis." And this is my daughter, the ultimate pride and joy. Obviously, I have 2 others, but she was my first, and she does get more special every day, just like her 2 brothers. But this one is in honor of her. So this piece is called My Heckling Daughter on Yom Kippur. Daddy is throwing this rock into the river, Matilda, for my sin of, we, Daddy. Remember your exit interview from Weed podcast episode? Shouldn't you have an easier time remembering these things already? Daddy is throwing this rock into the river for my sin of inspiring Arthur to finally break his no cursing streak by saying "what the fuck" after Arthur heard Kirby utter it on our list on HBO Go. Exposing me to right-wing pundit Michael Savage in the era of Me Too, according to Mama. Heckling the TV too much when Beauty and the Beast is on after panning 1 too many. I'm Daddy, I'm so funny, you all suck, blah, 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 blah. Posting Grandparent Bad Manners on WordPress and for checking it on the day of Yom Kippur. And checking on the day of Yom Kippur how many more likes it got. Daddy is throwing this rock into the river for my sin of playing me Wu-Tang 36 Chambers after my first Kung Fu class, thinking God would give you coolness props for exposing me to Ebonics Cursing 101. And Dad, why do you fast again today? Well, Matilda, I don't eat for the day as a form of atonement for angering God. It would be like Bill Maher swearing off high-priced hoes if he acknowledged his mother's side. Your new sin, Dada, is blowing my age of innocence to pieces, bit by bit. Also, Daddy, can you use a different word than sins? It sounds a tad too churchy for my taste. But the rocks represent my sins, Matilda. I throw them into the sea to be lost forever. But I thought God had a photographic memory. Sounds like wishful thinking to me, Dada. The end. Stay-at-home dad versus stay-at-home mom. This is stay-at-home mom at the library. I think your son pooed. This is the stay-at-home dad. I think he still smells better than you, Dumpy. This is me and my son, my 4-year-old son, at Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. This is me ordering. 1 veggie, egg white, and cheese on flatbread, please. And the woman working the drive-thru says, in a very unpleasant tone, "Is that it?" And then I say, "Throw in a butt plug if you got it." My 4-year-old son says, "What's a butt plug, Dada?" And I say, "My stocking stuffer for Mama. Can I get a holla for some holla?" This is me at the butcher. It's the butcher. Babysitting today? Is the unemployed comedian / father of 3. No, I'm an out of work, jealous, alcoholic bum who gives Paulie a good run for his money. Thank you all. You've been a wonderful crowd. Very excited about the Jewish New Year. Feel free to check out my blog on WordPress. Plan on blowing it up. Going to be writing multiple posts per day. Beforehand, I did talk about Double Talk with Chef Samuel, my father cooking show. We're now recalling it Our Family Meals Rule. Great title, right? And it's going to include all of my children and myself. Tonight I made some broccoli nuggets. They were phenomenal. They said to use egg whites, but that was a little too, foofy for my taste. So stay tuned for that. And my future humor book, The Stay-at-Home Comedian, is definitely coming together. Stay tuned for a short story I've been meaning to write forever this week. It's going to be a couple of basketball-themed ones. One is called Waste of Height, my father's favorite nickname for me, because the highlight of my basketball career in high school was scoring a whopping 10 points against an old private school Japanese team in Westchester County. Every time I drove to the hoop, their players ran away scared from me, like they were movie extras in a Godzilla film. And the other short story to look forward to this week is called Raising a Benchwarmer. It's going to be from my father's perspective, watching him schlep over the GW, only to see his firstborn sitting on the Pinewood bench, watching all of the starters enforce their manhood, while my dad questions what the hell he did wrong in raising me. My name is Michael Kornbluth. This is Do It All Dad Year podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. Controlling our kids through comedy can make our kids great again. Shana Tova to all. And I'll talk to you guys.